morning, Professor Liu, Professor Xi, Ms. Chen, and distinguished guests. Welcome to the opening ceremony of Have Clouds, Painting by Danny Liu. I'm your MC today, Basie Chow from HKUST, sitting in the School of Business and Management. This afternoon, the HKUST is very proud to present you Professor Liu's painting exhibition. Now a full-fledged artist, Professor Liu is an emeritus professor of Arizona State University, the founder and former president of Zona Technology, a fellow of American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics, two-time Ronald Reagan Gold Medalist, and a member of President Bush's Small Business Advisory Council. Professor Liu showed his artistic talents at a young age. He was a university symphony violinist at National Taiwan University and launched Taipei's first string quartet when 19 years old. At the age of 20, he mounted his first painting exhibition with several outstanding student painters, also from the National Taiwan University. He has three distinctive periods in his painting career: 1960s, which is his old college days, 1980s to 2000s in California and Arizona, and 2011 onwards in Taiwan. Since 2011, he has established the Mountain Aeroset Red Forest Studio in Danshui, Taiwan. Since 2013, Professor Liu has held several exhibitions in the US and Taiwan. This exhibition is Professor Liu's first exhibition in Hong Kong. It features 50 paintings by Professor Liu. We are extremely honored that Professor Liu accepted the university's invitation to stage his exhibition in our library as one of our 25th anniversary celebration events. So without further ado, may I invite Professor Wei Shi, Executive Vice President and Provost of HKUST, to give the welcoming speech. Professor Shi, please.
Good enough. Danny, Karen, and colleagues and friends, I stand here with a lot of pleasure and a lot of pride, I would say. About a year and a half ago, Danny had his former exhibition in Taipei with his late father together. And some of us, I think those of you here, we attended that exhibit. And that's the first time I saw in a more systematic way Danny's painting. I saw some of his pieces individually before, but that was a very special treat. So today's exhibit, I also take some pride in making clear that along with our library colleagues, we invited Danny together to come, okay? And I know he worked very hard since he accepted the invitation. He kind of was in seclusion in Danshui, okay? And every day probably more or less living off Sen Li Mian. So I think that's what it takes for a great artist to make good work, okay? This morning, I accidentally ran into him when he was trying to find his way to the library, okay? I think this is typical for artists. When he came to direction, probably he was not very strong, okay? And on the way here, we ran into another colleague, Gina. I think Gina was we just saw each other, and she didn't know Danny, so she was very happy to see the exhibit here. Yes, and she just said, it's great to have this exhibit, and I'd like to meet the artist. I say, he's standing right next to me. Okay, I think this is the kind of a natural appreciation, the spirit that we treasure the most here. You can see we have students chanting outside. We have this very high quality exhibit here. So that is together, I think that's what makes this university special, okay? Danny, as already, I think, introduced by our MC, has a lot of talents. And I have been, I think I claim to be Danny's friend for many years now, but to me, I never understood why he became an aerospace engineer, okay? Because he had a lot of other interests and talents, and I can only surmise that he became aerospace engineer or a professor by accident. And this accident lasted for several decades, and he was very successful, whatever he did, okay? He was highly regarded in his profession. He also was a very successful entrepreneur. Okay, the company he founded, and I can say this with some kind of knowledge, he provided very specialized and very practical service to aerospace industry. Okay, and that is very hard to do. And the company is very successful in that in its own right. I know that Danny used to play a lot of music instrument. Okay, I think I remember in one conversation he told me his useful days with Li Taixiang, right, among others. And Li Taixiang, those of us I think who know a little bit about Taiwan's music know who he was. Okay, so I think we are all very fortunate today to have a chance to not only admire but also to befriend this very special person. Looking at his painting, I only can say that his style certainly has been evolving from his more colorful days when he was young to nowadays, I think, to me, much more reflective. Maybe not very, I wouldn't say very somber, but certainly quite different, okay, in his not so young days. Okay, so I think his work will be for us all to appreciate. And I think he's going to give us a tour to give us his insight and how he conceived and did his work. He gave his lecture, I think, today around noontime. And Diana just told me that Danny told her he spent 100 hours preparing that lecture, okay? And I don't think he spent nearly as many hours for his lecture when he was a professor, but that's okay. Okay. But again, I appreciate having this opportunity standing in front of you to introduce, I'm proud to say, my friend, and this is a very special person. And so thank you.
Thank you, Professor Shi. Now I would like to invite and present you Professor Liu, the artist, to come forward to give us a speech. Professor Liu, please.
Thank you, Basie. Thank you, Professor Wei Shi. And let me start with the saying I learned from the Air Force. The saying is like this: every dog has his days. That's the Air Force people tell me. You know, you go up and Wei laughing because Wei has the biggest, very honorable lab for micro aero vehicle from the Air Force. So he understand my language, right? But in the more civilized language, and Andy Warhol says everyone has 15 minutes of his day, in his life. But I say I'm giving much greater honor than 15 minutes. Just now, about a few hours ago, I was giving 1.5 hours of presentation down in the basement to the students. Now I'm giving for 5 minutes. And now, then after this, I will give 2 months showing my work there. So that's much, much better treatment than a day for a dog's life, yeah? So anyway, I thank Professor Shi and Alice Ho and Diana Chen and many hardworking library staffs, most efficient and enthusiastic to get this thing going. Without them, I couldn't do a thing because I had much worse time when I had my exhibitions in Arizona and in Taiwan. Here, I was totally spoiled. Okay, I could tour with Benny and his friends in Hong Kong, having a good time yesterday. I come back, everything is set up. What a wonderful treat for me. And this exhibition, okay, made me felt that you know, I really feel that I'm coming back to the East, to Asia after 50 years of wandering around the world, very much like T.S. Eliot's Ulysses. When I left Taiwan as a young student, I really didn't want to get out. I was very happy playing quartet with Li Taixiang and painting with all these famous artists. At that time was not famous. Peng Wanci, Han Xiangling, these are my mentor friends. And I wish to stay, but everybody is out going to America because I was under such a big pressure. I had to find a university. So it was a disaster, I tell you. My life after that was like hell. I mean, not like all these all your professors here, and these are superstars. Once they go to America, they all make it better and better. And I was flunked out by my graduate school. Okay, I had to work in, where's Jimmy? I had to work with Jimmy in the sewing machine shop in his mother's home in New York, Bowery. Okay, and without Jimmy's family, I couldn't get it back up again. So my life is up and down so many different times, and I don't know. Maybe it's somehow heaven's will and send me back here and there. Eventually, I made it, and so somehow I feel that. So I said, well, when I retired, I said, now I like my work. I like what I do. That's why I make it today. Then I said, well, now I'm retired. I can do what I like, right? So first, I like what I do. Then I do what I like. I thought I found the trick, but actually, after 4 years, I find it doesn't work. I still have to like my work, just like everybody else right now you're doing. If I don't like my work, I cannot do what I like. So that's another stage of realizing life. And then what has been my obstacle in learning art and doing art and so on? So when I want to when I graduate in college, I told my mother I want to be to study art. She says, well, you know, you can't make a living. So you can't make a living. You have not enough to eat. So don't do that. So 50 years ago, I retired. That's the consequences of trying to be an artist. So I worked very, very hard, and I couldn't make it for dinner again like I used to work at ASU. My wife says, you retired, how come you're still doing art like this? You have enough to eat, so don't do art so hard. So then finally, I think that this is not the obstacle. The obstacle really is myself. Really, I haven't got a confidence. Even my mother wants me to say, go ahead. If Karen says, go ahead, I ask myself, I think I'm still short of confidence. So after all, everything in life is confidence. And now, this occasion makes me tremendous confidence. I feel so much at home with all your people here, and I'm so delighted you come here. And there's a evaluation board, Alice says that you can write whatever you want. If I don't like your comment, I delete it. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Professor Liu. Okay, sure.
Not a rebuttal, okay. I'd just like to tell my colleague in HKUST that quite a few of our mutual friends flew in from US to attend this event, okay. Some of them are our friends, for actually HKUST's friends for many years, okay. So I would like to show appreciation to you all to come from US, from Taiwan, and other part of the world to celebrate this together. You want to add more also? You forgot, I realized that.
I'm not a big administrator. You know, I forgot a lot of things. And I have friends from the U.S. Professor So, Mabel So, my wife, of course, and then my relative from Taiwan, and my granddaughter also from Taiwan, and my close friends, Avon Xie from Taisang from Taiwan and China, and I have Benny coming from the U.S. and I have Benny's very close friend, Dr. Poon, and took me to a yacht, which I never had an opportunity ever in my life, you know. So I was totally spoiled here. And who else come from different? Oh, another relative from Omun, and Tommy provides the wine, and which you enjoyed it very shortly. I cannot wait. It's 5 o'clock. We all go to meet the other places for for one gathering. Here we cannot drink. You know, I mean, as prudish as ASU, Arizona State. So I hope that I didn't miss anybody. If I did, I'm so sorry. And Dickie and Mabel, my sister and brother-in-law, they come from Indianapolis. Jimmy from New York City, and Jimmy Wong from New York City and New Jersey, and Ahang 同埋譚先生 from Oman, all right, and KY from Hong Kong, from Hong Kong, Taiwan, and US. I mean, they all my brother and last but not the least, he just rushed out from LA to come show up unexpectedly. And I have to look around. And thank you for all the nice friends. If I miss you, forgive me. And I feel very warm here. Oh, Morgan back there. He was my art supply man, my friend from Taiwan. Okay, he even came over from Taiwan, flying from Taiwan here to see me. And so I'm very, very grateful for all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Liu. Professor Xu, would you like to add some more words? No? Okay, thank you.